Warner Brothers logo. Bearded Richard Harris.
Cat. Maggie Smith?
Ooh! Flying bike! Meow! Good luck, Harry Potter.
Fine day, Sunday, no post Sunday.
Flap, 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 flap.
Ah, post on Sunday, how ironic.
Happy birthday, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Wow! It's Robbie Coltrane.
I was also in Cracker.
Ooh. Oh, it's Diagon Alley.
The wand chooses the wizard, Mr. Potter.
John Hurt, I loved you in Alien.
Chickadee, King's Cross. Chickadee, platform 9. Chickadee, and 3/4. Chickadee, we get the point.
Well, here I am at Hogwarts. I hope I get sorted into the right house.
Snappy comeback.
Not Slytherin, not Slytherin, not Slytherin.
Gryffindor.
Oh, thank fuck. Well, here we are at potions class. I hope my teacher is really nice.
Mr. Potter.
No. Alan Rickman's more like this. Mr. Potter.
I thought it was more like Mr. Potter.
Mr. Potter.
Mr. Potter.
Mr. Potter.
He'll be sadly missed.
Quidditch! Woo! I like how you hold your stick.
There's a ball in my mouth.
Woo! Oh, look. It's the mirror of Erised. I can see whatever my heart desires.
Ba-da-da-ba.
No, I'm 10 years old at this point, and I just want to see my dead parents.
Dead parents.
Thank you.
Ba-da-da-ba.
Stop that!
Aroof, I'm Fluffy.
No, I'm Fluffy. No, I'm Fluffy.
We better shake for it. How am I doing that with my own hands?
Nah! And that's wizard chess. Professor Quirrell, it was you all along.
No, it was me, Voldemort. I hope no one touches my face. Oh no, you touched my face.
Gryffindor wins!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Innes Lloyd 15th anniversary Harry Potter special. Please, Muggles and Scribs, give a round of applause for the handsomely Hufflepuffed Mr. Rob Lloyd.
Come on! Make some noise! Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing? Oh, come on, you can do better than that. It's Tuesday night. We're here to talk about Harry Potter. How y'all doing? It is...
They're feeling most woo and whistle.
Yes, woo and the whistle. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our tribute. It is the 15th birthday today for the first Harry Potter film released in Australia. It happened today, 15 years ago. And so just by a round of applause, who here's a Harry Potter fan? Oh, yeah.
Well, thank God we banked on that marketing.
Excellent stuff. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have you here. Could we have a huge round of applause for my co-host and my comedy crime partner, Mr. David Innes?
No.
And we are ably assisted on tech duties with Jack and Caitlin. Round of applause up there. Yes, we are here to talk about Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, released in 2001, which was, of course, a great year because so many great things happened. It was so long off for this year. Yeah. Of course, the film was an adaptation of the book by J.K. Rowling. It was written by Steve Kloves and directed by Chris Columbus.
Yes. Now, of course, when we talk about Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, we are not talking about all the other films that came after it.
Yeah.
We're certainly not talking about the book
Yeah.
or the adult-friendly cover on the right. For all those adults who are keen to read a child fantasy novel and want to go in disguise on the train and say, yes, I am reading quite an adult grown-up book. It's clearly about a stone.
Look at how adult that stone is.
Yes.
But one thing they don't really notice is the words that are biggest on the page are Harry Potter. So yeah, they kind of failed at that point there.
They are indeed. And of course, we're not talking about the Channel 10 news reporter, Harry Potter.
Yes.
There he is there.
The late, great Harry Potter. Yeah.
he was indeed.
I'm quite interested in the ice bucket placed in a very strategic point there, Mr. Innes.
Well, I think if we go back a slide, so that's the reason why he's got a
Oh,
big
right,
red
okay.
stone.
Okay, he wrote the book.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There we are.
It's his autobiography.
That is who he is. And we're certainly not talking about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, because get fucked, America. I find that if this hadn't been 2016, that wouldn't have got quite as much applause.
We're going to build a wall and we're going to get the philosophers to pay for it.
Oh, that's just depressing. Yeah. We're certainly not talking about Harry Potter Cluedo or I'm sorry that you may have not seen the Harry Potter Cluedo show.
We're going to give out a bit of merchandise now. Please don't leave your seats to go buy it, all right? Or pull out your phones to go to eBay. All right, I haven't got that one. All right.
We're certainly not talking about the other crazy merchandise, including the vibrating Nimbus 2000. It is a toy.
And it does vibrate.
We're certainly not talking about the paper puppet Weasley twins with real flexible arms.
Yeah.
We're certainly not talking about the Dolores Umbridge cycling doll. Just pull her and let her go.
Yes. Pull her and let her go.
Let's move on. There we go. And we're certainly not talking about this particular adorable toilet sticker.
Yep.
We're certainly not talking about this. I can't believe this was 30% off this Mrs. Ronald Weasley top. Certainly, we're not talking about that. And we're certainly not talking about the series of adult romantically themed. The adult romantically themed spin-off vignettes.
No! Now, all right, so... Okay.
It's a little bit for everybody with this slide.
Okay, now I get this one. We've got the glasses and then we've got the wand and stuff like that. We can see a bit of the Harry Potter characterization there. But who's this fine gentleman? Which character is he playing with his serpent tattoo?
Well, according to the show notes
that
I've got here, I bought the script.
Yeah.
As you can see, there we go. That's the script there.
Yeah, that's good.
That is young star Matthew Rush playing Voldemort Cock.
Do not clap that, seriously.
He probably has clapped. Now, but we are...
Oh, that's gone too far. All right, okay.
SDR. Now, we are, of course, talking about Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
That's right,
And
that's
we're
right.
talking about your credentials, Mr. Lloyd.
Yes, okay. Now, I've been a big fan of Harry Potter since the year 2000. I was a drama tutor teacher at a drama camp up in New South Wales. And while I was there, the head tutor said, oh, you've got to read this new book series. All the kids are into it. It's called Harry Potter. They're up to the 3rd book and the 4th one's coming out this year. And I said, okay. She told me the basic idea of it. I went to the bookstore and bought the first 4 straight away because Goblet of Fire had just come out and I was immediately hooked. Yes, as you can see, I am a Hufflepuff. Yes, I know. Hufflepuff pride forever. My wand is a spruce wand with spruce wood with a phoenix feather core, and it's a slightly springy flexibility. So, and it's 14 and a half inches, ladies. Voldemort wand. My Ilvermorny house is Thunderbird, and thank you. And my Patronus is the Falcon. Yeah.
Thank you for demonstrating the
Thank you
Falcon
very much.
mime, in case we'd forgotten what they were.
Yeah.
It certainly wasn't the Ford Falcon.
That would be great. Doing donuts and the, yeah. Harry Potter's been a big part of my life in a really odd way. my now ex-wife and I first met when the final book came out, and she's gummed up the courage to talk to me because she saw me reading it in the staff room when I was there as a teacher and she was there as a student teacher. And so that got us talking for our honeymoon. We went to Universal Studios in Orlando to Harry Potter World, and when we were going through the divorce website, the best way for us to keep it light and entertaining is she got on Pottermore and figured out her Patronus charm. So we're still good friends now, but Harry Potter pretty much was from the beginning to the end of our relationship. My girlfriend right now and I listen to Harry Potter every night, and we're up to the Half-Blood Prince right now. We fall asleep to Stephen Fry in our ear. It's a little bit and a little bit ooh. So that's
I've heard many men say that in Soho.
So Harry Potter has a special place in both my hearts. So now, yeah, just thought I'd cross-pollinate there a bit with the fandom.
Get out.
So that's my credentials when it comes to my obsession with Harry Potter. Now, Mr. Innes, now surely you must have done your research. That was more than just going to YouPorn and checking up.
Well, apart from that, no, but clearly I didn't really need to do that much research. This is, of course, a film that we're all incredibly familiar with. I mean, it's iconic. It's got the best lines. I mean, there's Billy Crystal, and there's Meg Ryan at the restaurant, and that woman says, I'll have what she's having.
No, that's when Harry met Sally.
Oh. Isn't that the film with Clint Eastwood? He's got the gun and he's pointing at someone.
No, that's Dirty Harry.
Oh. Isn't that with John Lithgow and the big Sasquatch?
No, that's Harry and the Hendersons.
Isn't that a Channel 9 newsreader?
That's Brian Henderson.
Then no.
Oh. So clearly, ladies and gentlemen, we need to check your credentials to see what level of fandom you are up to. And we've divided it into 3 sections, okay? We want you to cheer, scream, and give the appropriate response as such. We will start with the lowest level, and this is the Ron Weasley level. As Ron Weasley is as a student in Hogwarts, okay? Yeah, look, we love Ron, but when it comes to studying, he's a very good redhead, okay? So, wow. I didn't know I'd be this sassy with my...
Everyone's a little bit racist sometimes.
And you're cross-pollinating now. So, you have no idea about Harry Potter. You're the Ron Weasley level. You have no idea, no information. I don't know why you're here. You've just stumbled in to see a show. So if you're at that low level where you have no understanding of Harry Potter, I would like you to call out, she needs to sort out her priorities. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
She needs to sort out her priorities. I've got friends in the audience! No? No friends in the audience.
They were just people being polite. The next level up is, as with the Hogwarts students, we'll go to the Harry Potter level. You're a bit of a casual fan. You've seen it once or twice, but you don't know all the details and the ins and outs. And you're going to call out, it was like magic. 1, 2, 3. It was like magic. Casual level, all right. There's quite a few of you there. Now we're going to go to the top level, the ultimate expert, the know-it-all level of Harry Potter, the Hermione Granger. All right? Now, if you know everything about the books, everything about the movies, you had collected all the spin-off stuff, you even got the Comic Relief original releases of Quidditch Through the Ages and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, not the re-release ones with extra stuff in it. No. You got the original ones with the green and the blue cover, green and the red cover. Some of you went, nah. Basically, you're the type of fan that gets so annoyed if anyone paraphrases, Harry Potter wrong or something like that. You're going to be annoyed through this entire show. We want you to call out, it's Leviosa, not Leviosa. 1, 2, 3. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa. Excellent. I did want to use her other famous quote, which was, I read about it in Hogwarts. History.
Wait for it.
A history. But we've only got an hour for this show.
Well, look,
So that's good. They've got a good balance. We've got some casuals and some experts. That's pretty good.
But we do have an unfortunate stain of politeness. So there could be lies.
There could be lies.
Lies. So I think we need to put our audience to the test. I think we need to have the book or movie quiz.
Ooh.
And a flashing screen.
And the projector shat itself.
I know, it's terrifying. So for this, Mr. Rob Lloyd will guide the audience, and we need 3 audience volunteers.
This is a quiz. We've got some
to
games.
the quiz to answer.
Anyone who dances. Raise the enchanted roof like you just don't care. 1, 2, and 3. Come on up. Give them a round of applause. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. Oh, wonderful, wonderful stuff. Ooh, we have cosplay. I smell a cosplay. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Now, we're just going to find out your names, and your name is? Gemma. Excellent. Your name is?
Jackson.
And your name is?
Rebecca. Correct.
Excellent stuff.
So your names will be your buzzers. Now, the way this game works is I'm going to read out a question, and you will have to tell me, whoever is the quickest, to tell me, was it in the book only, or was it in the film only? That is indeed the rules. So we're going to start with question 1.
Remember, your name is your buzzer.
Yes. Nobody else's, just your own. You are a special flower. Now, question 1. The Quidditch pitch is an open field with spectator towers.
Jackson.
Ooh, yes.
It's in the movie.
See, it is indeed movie only.
Oh, well done.
I'm only a filthy casual.
That's my kind of casual.
Note down for later. Filthy. Question 2 now. Professor Binns is the history of magic teacher.
Ooh,
The book only.
That is correct.
Oh, round of applause.
There we go.
Come on, Gemma. Come on, Gemma.
Question 3. The Dursleys go to a hotel to avoid the letters being sent for Harry.
Oh, Rebecca.
Only.
That is correct.
Book
The
only.
yes.
Oh.
It's very true.
Come on, Hufflepuff.
They
Come on,
go.
Hufflepuff. I believe in you.
Okay. Question number 4 now. Hagrid drops Harry off to King's Cross Station.
Rebecca.
Ooh.
Movie only.
That answer is correct.
Oh! Rebecca.
So we've got 3, 1, and...
Hufflepuff, come on! Stop staying in the kitchens. We can do this. Stop smoking the weeds that the Sprout gives us.
I think that is the score. 3, 1, and Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuffs are great at finding things.
We are very good at finding things, yeah.
I believe that calls for a zing. We're at some question now. We're at question 5 now. The sorting hat makes a snappy or ominous comment prior to sorting.
Jackson.
Yes, Jackson.
Movie.
That is indeed movie only. Give him a round of applause.
Yes.
For an extra point, what happens in the book instead? Anyone can call out. What happens in the book instead of a snappy comeback?
What does the hat do in the book?
He sings a song.
He does sing a song.
You're not
Thank
even
you
playing
very
and
much.
you get a point!
There we go.
You're beating Hufflepuff! It's okay. It's okay. We can do this. We can do this.
I
do
only
this together.
ask the questions. There we go. Unless the audience wants to nominate who they want to give their points to.
Well, truthfully, I just made it up. I didn't actually.
That's a good Hufflepuff answer. Good.
I think so. Hufflepuff gets a point!
You're doing well.
Alrighty, so I believe the scores are 3, 2, 1.
Yes!
Well, there we go. That is a thing that happened. Question 6 now. Norbert, Hagrid's pet dragon, is taken away by Dumbledore.
Rebecca.
Yes. That answer is correct.
Round of applause. Round of applause to our volunteers and our winner. We have these range of wonderful prizes. You can take whichever one you want. Which would you like?
Just go Harry.
Harry at the top.
Big round of applause
Thank
for
you
all
very
the
much.
volunteers!
Take it, guys. Thank you very much.
There we go. Marvelous.
It's not, yeah, remember, it's not a case of whether you win or lose. It's whether how you do the nerd.
Yes. Those were indeed some words that you said.
What are we up to now, Mr.
It is now time for some pre-production.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at the film Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Let's go back to where it all began. The original, amazing, inspiring mind that this whole world come from. Yes, we all know it, yes. J.R.R. Tolkien. No. Sorry, no. George R.R. Martin. What? No, it is, of course, Run DMC. What? No, it's not that. It is, of course, J.K. Rowling. Yes, right there. It's like that.
And that's the way it is. Hooah!
Now, you probably know all this, but we'll go through it anyway. Now, J.K. Rowling was born in Gloucestershire in England. Now, she was working as a researcher and bilingual secretary for Amnesty International when she conceived the idea of Harry Potter while she was delayed on a train from Manchester to London in 1990. It took her 7 years to write the story and to finally get it published. And during that time, she went through a lot. She had the death of her mother, the birth of her first child, divorce from her first husband, relative poverty until it was all released with the first book, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, in 1997. Now, in 1997, the exact year that the book was released, Dave Heyman was a film producer who was looking for a new children's book, fantasy book that could be turned into a movie franchise. He was planning to adapt Diana Wynne Jones's novel, The Ogre Downstairs, but they couldn't get the rights. And then one of his people in his production company said, hey, what about this Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone? It's pretty cool. And so they hunted it down, and in 1999, they secured the rights. And J.K. Rowling sold the rights to the first 4 books for £1 million. She's made a little bit more than that now. Now, there was only one demand that J.K. Rowling had for the making of the movies. The entire cast had to be British. All the leads had to be British. Now,
Well done. You guessed correctly.
now, the first director that they approached to do Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was Steven Spielberg. Yes.
That was indeed the response.
Warner Brothers wanted Steven Spielberg, but he wanted to make an animated film with Haley Joel Osment doing the voice of Harry Potter. And he wanted to take bits from all the books. He didn't want to do it in just one story. Basically, he said, to quote, he turned it down in the end because he said, in his opinion, doing the film Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was like shooting ducks in a barrel.
Ducks in a barrel?
Ducks in a barrel, not fish in a barrel, ducks in a barrel.
Why would you have ducks in a barrel?
Because the ducks have eaten the fish and they're so fat they can't move.
And why are they shooting them? They're going to die of suffocation anyway. He has got mixed metaphors.
Yes, they were all racist ducks. So, yeah.
That's okay.
So he said it was a slam dunk. It was like if someone withdrew $1 billion and put it into his personal account. There was no challenge. So he went on and did a film adaptation of what Stanley Kubrick wanted to do before Stanley Kubrick died. He made AI, artificial intelligence. Moving on. So, there's a lot of other directors that they hunted down, directors like Terry Gilliam, Rob Reiner, Ivan Reitman, M. Night Shyamalan, and the great Aussie director Peter Weir, who I'm a huge fan of. Now, Rowling's first choice was Terry Gilliam, who did stuff like Jabberwocky. He also did Time Bandits and...
Given that they know who Terry Gilliam
Yeah.
is, I reckon we're pretty sure.
and, of course, Brazil and 12 Monkeys. But they went with... Warner Brothers Studios went with Chris Columbus because of his work with children actors on stuff like Mrs. Doubtfire and Home Alone. Now, Columbus pitched his original idea for the film for 2 hours to Warner Brothers Studios, and he said he wanted all the Muggle scene to be bleak and dreary, but the Wizarding World was going to be steeped in colour, mood and detail. He was inspired by David Lean films like Great Expectations and Oliver Twist. He wanted a darkness and a sort of edgy quality to it, and the colour would come alive like in Oliver and in The Godfather when it got to the magic scenes. Like The Godfather, yeah. A lot of reds, The Quidditch scene would have been a lot of blood. Steve Kloves was chosen to be the screenplay, do the screenplay. Now, he was very nervous with his first meeting with J.K. Rowling. He was afraid that, he didn't want to... Hey, that's twice. Hey, you've just gone, nope, I'm giving up.
What they've taken is they've taken the glass cabinet and are slowly moving it towards them.
Mordred. You can't. No, you can't.
Reference.
Now, Kloves was very nervous because he was afraid that she might think he was going to try and destroy her babies. And Rowling was very, very apprehensive at the start when they first met. And she said to him, who's your favourite character in my book? And she was there going, he's going to say Ron. He's going to say Ron. He's going to say Ron. Everyone loves Ron. And Kloves said Hermione. And that sold it. So whenever you meet J.K. Rowling, just say, my favourite's Hermione. Give me $1 million.
Slightly.
And give me money. Now, J.K. Rowling could actually help out with a large amount of, she had creative control over the film to some extent in the first one, and Christopher Columbus was very, very happy to help her out with that. And that's all pre-production. What happens now?
Well, I think it's now time for everyone's favourite game, Look Who's a Hottie Now! Did you spot the hottie? There was at least one in there.
Neville, I don't think he's Neville Longbottom, that's for sure. Thank you very much. Don't clap that.
He already
Can
has.
we move off that, please?
No! No! I now regret not zooming in. Now, I think it's time to talk about production, and Mr. Lloyd, I think we need to be expedient with our production details.
Of course. Now, ladies and gentlemen, filming began in September 2000 at Leavesden Studios and concluded March 23rd, 2001. The American title was obviously different, so they had to do 2 takes of it with the cast saying Philosopher's Stone and then saying Sorcerer's Stone, because, you know, up yours, America. The children filmed for 4 hours a day, only 4 hours a day, and then they had to do 3 hours of schoolwork, and the kids really loved getting into the makeup section and getting fake scars and bruises. At least that's what Warner Brothers said. Yes, they were putting on makeup. Come on, Neville, act! Learn your lines, damn it. Cool. Oh, sorry, that was too much. I mean, I love you, Neville.
No, my children were hurt in the mud.
Now, the big thing was that Harry is meant to have green eyes, but Daniel Radcliffe has blue eyes. He had contacts in, but they were really irritating to his eyes. So they, with a child in pain, instead of going, oh, that's okay, we'll make an executive decision, they went, no, we must go to J.K. Rowling and say, these contact lenses are a bit annoying. Is it okay if he stops wearing them? And she went, let it be.
But first she was rotating on a chair with a small cat.
The music, of course, was done by the great John Williams. And now the classic iconic theme isn't actually the Harry Potter theme, it's Hedwig's theme. But it's now become synonymous with Harry Potter. Now we're going to come to casting. Now casting was a big issue here because, of course, all the lead actors had to be British. And they scoured the countryside for any child actors they could for it. The kids had to audition with 3 stages. They had to read a page from the novel. They had to improvise a scene as if they were a student arriving at Hogwarts for the first time. And finally, they had to read the pages from a script from one of Chris Columbus's previous films, which was Young Sherlock Holmes. Now, they had a casting director who was Sue Figus, but she actually left the production because she said Chris Columbus was not happy with the thousands of young actors that they had seen, and she was just annoyed, so she left. Now, let's actually look at the cast. And we start off first with Daniel Radcliffe. Round of applause. Now, Daniel Radcliffe had been in films before, and Chris Columbus had actually seen him in a production of David Copperfield, and he wanted him to be Harry. But Daniel Radcliffe's parents were both, a literary and casting agents, so they knew of the dangers of that much exposure to their child, and they said, no, he's not going to audition. But they insisted. They went and saw some thousands of other actors, and they went, no, we need to get Daniel. So they ran into the family at a production in London of Stones in His Pockets, and through much convincing, they said they'd look after Harry, they'd look after Daniel, make him Harry. They kept on calling him Harry just to be subliminal, and they went, all right, take him. So he was cast, and J.K. Rowling said that they couldn't have picked a better actor for Harry. Next up, we have Ron Weasley, Rupert Grint, right there. Now, Rupert thought that he could do it. He said, well, I've got red hair, and I like the books. So what he actually did, he filmed himself doing a rap and sent it to Warner Brothers, and despite that, he still got the role.
White man rap, get you everywhere.
And next up we have, of course, Emma Watson as Hermione Granger, yeah. Now, her Oxford theatre theatre teacher passed on her name to the casting agent, and they were amazed by her confidence, and they gave her the role. Next up, we have the late, great Richard Harris as Albus Dumbledore. Now, he turned it down originally. He turned down the role originally until his granddaughter went up to him and said, "Grandfather, did you turn down the role of Albus Dumbledore in the Harry Potter film?" He went, "Yes, I did, my dear." And he went, "If you don't accept that role, I'm never going to talk to you again." And he went, "Right, okay." And he did the first 2 films before he sadly passed away, and then he was recast with Michael Gambon, who is an actor. All right. Next up, we have the great Robbie Coltrane as Rubius Hagrid.
I'm so glad you clarified, and of all the Hagrids who appear in the story, that it was Rubius Hagrid.
There are many Hagrids out there, many famous Hagrids.
Yes, there's like Derek Hagrid.
Oh, yes, and they were all in that fabulous 80s group called Huey Lewis and the Hagrids.
Yeah.
They were great. It's hip to be Squib. Was the hit song.
so hip to be.
Squib. Anyway, so he was J.K. Rowling's first choice, and they had in-depth conversations before filming to find out more about Hagrid's past and future. So he had a lot of information about Hagrid before they started filming. Next up, we have Maggie Smith. Nobody else could play McGonagall, seriously. And she was J.K. Rowling's first choice, so Warner Brothers, tick. Next up we have, yes,
I think Alan Rickman's photo is having a look at our show right now.
Harry Potter, you say? Oh. Now, you may find this hard to believe, but Alan Rickman wasn't the first choice for Severus Snape. The first choice was Tim Roth. Tim Roth right there. Huge star, yeah, huge star. He was cast as the role, but he turned it down to go on and make Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. He chose poorly. If anyone went, "Oh, come on,"
He chose poorly.
Next up, we have Ian Hart as Quirrell right there. Round of applause. Woo! Fabulous actor who played John Lennon in Backbeat. Really good performance in that. He went into the audition for Quirrell with David Thewlis, one of his best mates. Thewlis missed out on the role, but Thewlis got Lupin in Prison of Azkaban. So it all comes around. Mind you, they cast every single British actor in the history of the universe. So some people just waiting for my turn. Next up, we have Matthew Newis, 11 Longbottom, who's become a hottie. Next up, we have, move along, Tom Felton as Draco Malfoy.
Who's currently dressed as a 1980s Bond villain.
Yes. He's doing his best Christopher Walken from, what's that?
A View to a Kill.
A View to a Kill. He's there going, "Potter, some wizards are better than others. I can see from your hand-me-down robes you must be a Weasley. This Philosopher's Stone has been up your daddy's ass." Anyway, no. Now, Tom Felton actually auditioned for the role of Harry Potter, but he didn't get it. Yeah. John Hurt, come on. One of my favourite actors, ladies and gentlemen. I was a bit annoyed when he was cast just as Ollivanders. I'm there going, "That's John Hurt, man. That's like the Elephant Man. This is Midnight Express." He could do so much more with the Harry Potter world, but he was brought back in the final 2 films as well. So John Hurt as Ollivanders. Next up we have, moving through, the Dursleys. Richard Griffiths and Fiona Shaw as the Dursleys. Moving along. Now, originally, Christopher Columbus wanted to cast Rosie O'Donnell. So, yes, I'm glad that sanity...
He chose wisely.
Next up, we have, Warwick Davies as Flitwick. Awesome stuff. And last but... Wanamaker as Madam Hooch.
Yep.
Only in the first film. And John Cleese, nearly headless neck. Yep. The cast just keeps on going.
And finally.
The late, great Rick Mayall was cast as Peeves and actually shot his scenes, but they were cut out of the original film. And even in the special features where they had deleted scenes, they didn't include his deleted scenes. But yes, it would have been great to see him as Peeves. And that's the cast of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Round of applause. Now, Mr. Innes, what are we doing now?
This is the part you've been waiting for months. For months. You see, as a non-Harry Potter fan, I don't know what house I'm in. So we're going to find out what house I'm in right here, right now on stage.
I'm so fucking excited. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there are 4 houses, of course, in Hogwarts, and I'd like a representative from each house up. If you think that Mr. Innes will be a fine addition to your house, we need you up on stage. So who is a Slytherin here? Who is a Slytherin here? Come on up. Right. Round of applause for our Slytherin. Come on up, sir. Take a seat. Stand right here. What's your name? Shu, nice to meet you. Can we have another Hufflepuff? Where's another Hufflepuff right there? Come on up. Of course you are. Excellent stuff. And you are, of course?
Nick.
Correct. Nick. Nick, not from Hufflepuff. Me dad's a muggle. Me mum's a witch. Thank
I
you.
love that Pogue song.
Ravenclaw, do we have any Ravenclaws? Oh, thank you for coming out and not staying at home and being a study nerd. Excellent. Oh my gosh, that is the most incredible hat I've ever seen. And I've been to Germany. I don't know what that means. And finally, we need. Where's the Gryffindor? We need a Gryffindor up. Come on up. Applause. Alrighty, okay,
So-
let's shuffle across.
So when we find out what house I'm in, whoever house I happen to join will get the choice of a fabulous prize. Now, I might not be able to see the questions, Rob, so you'll have to help me here.
Alright, so Mr. Innes, first question. Do you choose moon or stars?
I choose stars.
Ooh. Excellent. If you could have any power, which would you choose? The power to read minds? The power of invisibility? The power of superhuman strength? The power to the power to speak to animals? The power to change the past? The power to change your appearance at will? Yep. That's it.
Oh, there's a couple of good ones. I think I'd love to change my appearance.
Change your appearance, okay.
No, I'm not low self-esteem. I'm pretty fucking hot. I just would like to shapeshift.
Okay, late at night, walking alone down the street, you hear a peculiar cry
I bet I do.
that you believe to have a magical source.
Of course I do.
Do you swipe right? No.
Casual rough.
Proceed with caution, keeping one hand on your concealed. One hand on your concealed wand, and an eye out for any disturbances. This is a lot more saucy when I'm doing it out loud.
Funny that.
Draw your wand and try to discover the source of the noise.
Yeah.
Draw your wand and stand your ground. Do you withdraw into the shadows to await developments while mentally reviewing the most appropriate defensive...
That one.
All right.
Definitely that one.
Which
I'm not going to whip out my wand for any old beastly noise.
which would you rather be? Envied? Imitated? Thank you. Trusted? Praised? Liked? Feared?
Oh, there's two there. It's either going to be envied or imitated. I would love to be envied.
Oh. Ooh. Okay, which of the following would you most hate people to call you? Ordinary? Ignorant? Cowardly? Selfish?
Definitely ignorant.
Yeah.
And thank you for the voice in the back. That's it.
If you were attending Hogwarts, which pet would you rather you choose to take with you? Tabby cat?
Oh, God.
Pick an animal.
Siam cat?
Yeah.
Ginger cat? Black cat? White cat? Mexican cat?
Now, I'll have no cats.
Okay, tawny owl? Screech owl?
Is it Screech or Screech?
Brown owl? Snowy owl? Barn owl? Common owl? Oh, common toad. Natterjack toad.
Go back to the owls. I'll go with the I'll go with the brown owl.
Brown owl. Brown owl. How now, brown owl? You enter an enchanted garden. Which would you most be curious to examine first? The silver-leafed tree, bearing gold apples. Sorry, it's very pixelated up here. Bearing golden apples.
Yeah.
The fat red toadstools that appear to be talking to each other.
Nah.
You like Mario? The bubbling pool in the depths of which something luminescent.
Nah.
Luminous is. Oh, okay. Well, fuck you. A statue of an old wizard with a strangely twinkling eye.
That does sound like my Friday nights. Let's go with that one then.
Okay. Left or right?
Well, I'm no longer a conservative, so left it is.
Left. Okay, and you are Ravenclaw! Wow. I was thinking you'd be Slytherin.
Well, maybe later tonight.
All right, thank you, Gryffindor. Thank you, Hufflepuff. Thank you.
Ravenclaw, choose your
Now,
gift.
Ravenclaw, you get to pick which of these prizes you would like to take.
Neville.
Neville!
Oh, do I ever?
The longer you keep him, the hotter he gets. All right, what happens next, Mr. Innes?
Got like 15 minutes to go, but we're talking about post-production.
Post-production. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Then the film premiered. The film premiered on November 4th in London at Leicester Square, and the whole cinema was turned into resemble Hogwarts. The film was greatly received at the box office, and in the United States, it made $32.3 million on its opening day. Breaking the single-day record previously held by Star Wars 1: The Phantom Menace. Thank you, Harry Potter. All right. Now, reaction to the film. Reaction to the film was actually quite mixed. Some critics loved it, and some critics did not so much like it. The film has garnered 80% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, with a consensus reading, being so faithful to the book is both a strength and a weakness. The movie unfolds exactly as written in the book, so there's little room for surprises or discovery. But the fans, what would they want any more than that? Roger Ebert gave it 4 out of 4, saying it was a classic, and he particularly praised the Quidditch scene. And then he put his glasses on and went, oh, never mind. And Elvis Mitchell from the New York Times was highly negative. And he said Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone...
Sorry, no, you have to do it in his voice.
What? No, he's not Elvis Presley.
Yes, he is.
All right. Oh, this film's like a theme park, baby. That's a few years past its prime. The rides are clatter and a groan with a mental fatigue every time they take a curve. It lacks imagination, and the Sorting Hat has more personality than anything else in the movie. Wow. Wow. Now, awards. When it comes to awards, the film received 3 Academy Award nominations. It also received 7 BAFTA Award nominations. And it won a Saturn Award for costume. Now, the legacy of Harry Potter. Not only have we had 7 sequels for the 6 books, we've also had the play, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which they released the screenplay script of, which is a script.
At best.
We also have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which is the first of 5 films. Yeah. 5 films based on a brochure. So, yeah.
Who's the main actor in that?
That is Eddie Redmayne.
I would let him find my Fantastic Beast, and I could tell him where to find them.
But the best part about the Harry Potter franchise is, of course, what the fans do. There's a huge legacy of fan stuff online, particularly... And let's see how popular it is. Snape, Severus Snape. Exactly. But the strongest legacy is, of course, the Harry Potter memes, which are so strong. We've got some of our favorites here. Any improvisation fans will like this one. Yeah. Next up, what are some other ones we have there? Yeah.
Rob and I's absolute favourite has to be Snape's on a plane. I'm sick of these motherfucking Snapes on this motherfucking plane.
All right, so, what's happening now?
Well, I think it's time for everyone's favourite round of these shows. Of course, time for Hat Facts.
Hey!
Hat Facts, Hat Facts, Hatty Hat Facts. Facty Facts. Hatty Fact. Facty Hat. Oh, Hat Facts, Hat Facts, Hat Facts, Hat Facts.
Hat Facts is filmed in front of a live studio hat.
We've got just on 3 hats to look at, and we've got to start with the smoking cap and thinking cap, featuring being worn here by Rob's favourite actor to take on Dumbledore.
He never read the books.
Go blog about it. The smoking or thinking cap. You look like a cat.
On Azrael.
And of course, the smoking thinking cap was very popular in the 18th and 19th centuries, particularly worn with a smoking jacket, and it was often used for what men needed to do most in their private and in their alone thinking. Certainly. The next hat is actually an interesting one. We've got the witch's hat, which of course was also used as a sorting hat. Now, interestingly, witches' hats don't exist. Yes. They never were a thing at any point. They were entirely fictional. The closest that I could find in my research was that the origin name was the German word for a witch's hat, which is the Spitzhut, which is what Rob and I have been doing all evening to the front row, and we're sorry. Yes. So the Spitzhut is, and the reason why it became very popular in fiction and everything else is that in religious terms, the idea of a pointed hat was awfully similar to a devil's horn. So anyone who was considered evil would be wearing a pointed hat and that kind of thing. And of course, the children wear a version of the dunce caps, which is basically a brimless version of the Spitzhut. Now, the next one, I must clarify something here, that I must declare that, of course, the sorting hat is not a Fiecht hat, unlike the talking hat from Labyrinth, which is definitely a Fiecht hat. Because, of course, the sorting hat is mainly espousing opinions based on various arbitrary qualities. You could say it's more of a Herald Sun hat.
Oh,
and that's the end of Hat Facts, so if you know the lyrics, come and join us.
put them up on the screen.
Hat Facts, Hat Facts, Hatty Hat Facts, Facty Fact Hats, Hatty Fact. Facty hat. Oh, Hat Facts, Hat Facts, Hat Facts, Hat Facts.
Yeah! Sit, Ubu, sit. Good hat. Hat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, David Innes right there.
You sang along to a song about hats.
Ladies and
Thank
gentlemen,
you.
one of our favourite traditions is Hat Facts, but also, to close our show, we have a tradition. We have the audience reenactment. We are going to act out a famous scene from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and we need 3 audience members to come out and act it. I believe you may come up. 2, and someone who hasn't been up. Yes. Come forward. Round of applause. Thank you. Come forward, my dear. Come on up. Oh, careful. Watch your step. Okay.
Do we need 3 or 4?
3.
Oh.
3.
3.
Now, and your name is? Claudia. Emily. Excellent stuff. Round of applause for our volunteers. Now, our reenactment scene for this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is the Wizard's Chess scene, right near the end of it. We have the 3 leads. We have Ron, Hermione, and Harry to act out. I will be filling the role of everything else. Now, Harry is the lead, but in this particular scene, he is not the star of this scene. Who would like to play Harry? Who would like to play Harry Potter? Harry Potter. Excellent stuff right there. It's not like you were coaxed into it. We're not putting our hands up. Who would like to be Hermione Granger? Right, there you go. And Hermione. Harry Potter, Harry Potter. Ron Weasley is you. Round of applause right there. Now, Mr. David Innes will be providing the stage directions and the narration in the only way we know how, the greatest voiceover narration of all time, Thomas the Tank Engine. So read out loud, get involved, and let's go.
Our scene opens in the cavernous bowels of the famous wizarding school Hogwarts. Our three heroes, Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, and Ron Weasley, are in search for the legendary Philosopher's Stone. 'Cause not Sorcerer's Stone, 'cause fuck you, America. Whoever possesses the stone can live forever. Having passed their first two tests, Harry, Ron, and Hermione are prepared for their third and most dangerous challenge.
I don't like this. I don't like it at all. Where are we? A graveyard? It's not a graveyard. It's a chessboard.
As Ron finishes speaking, a plethora of torches ignite themselves. And then they say, "Go team." Immediately filling the space with eerie light, basking in the glow of this menacing atmosphere, stand the towering figures of giant stone chess pieces, ready for a game. As our three heroes move forward, the entire row of white pawns draw their blades ready to attack if our heroic trio takes a step closer.
Fishing! Oh, fishing!
Now what do we do? It's obvious, isn't it? We have to play our way across the room.
No, you do not.
All right, Harry. You take the empty Bishop Square. Hermione, the Queenside Castle. As for me, I'll be a knight.
Our heroes do indeed take their places on the board. Harry the bishop, Hermione the rook, come on Ron, you know your chess terminology, and Ron, rather smugly, mounts the knight's horse.
What happens now? I don't want to say this line. Whites move first and then we play.
Oh!
And in true Republican style, one of the white pawns ominously glides forward 2 spaces, demonstrating how heavy and intimidating it is. It also shat itself, apparently.
You don't suppose this is like real wizard chess, do you? D5.
Instantly, the black pawn that Ron barked his instruction at leaps to life and slides its way 2 spaces to be diagonally opposite the white pawn. With lightning-fast reflexes, the white pawn unsheathes its stone blades and proceeds to smash Ron's black pawn to dust.
Yeah!
Both Harry and Hermione look visibly shocked, let out an audible gasp. Ron, who kind of expected it, instead releases a gulp.
Yes, Hermione, I think it's going to be exactly like wizard's chess.
And so begins a highly exciting and emotionally charged montage sequence. Yes, gasp. Blending close-up images of Harry and Hermione with low-angle shots of Ron confidently shouting orders to his stone troops.
Castle to E4.
Rock! Castle. Next year we're saying horsey.
Ron's lost it! We need an understudy.
As Ron's board slowly moves into place, another black chess piece moves in response. At that moment, something gravely serious dawns on Harry.
Wait a minute.
Ron is already way ahead of him.
You understand, right, Harry? Once you move, the queen will take me. Then you're free to check the king.
Oh, good.
He's going to sacrifice himself. No, you can't. There must be another way. Don't stop me, Snape, from getting the stone or not. Harry, it's up to you. It's
Yeah,
you
that's-
that has to go on. I know it's not me, not Hermione. You.
With a courage and strength way beyond his years, Ron straightens himself up and prepares for the inevitable.
Knight to H3.
Ron's stone horse moves 2 spaces forward and 1 across, summoning all the strength he can, but with just a hint of fragility, Ron announces, At that moment, the stone white queen flickers to life, confidently glides towards Ron, expertly moves her battle staff into position, and proceeds to shatter Ron's horse into a million pieces, sending Ron flying to the ground with a sickening thud.
Oh, good.
Instinctively, Hermione leaps into the direction of Ron to come to his aid.
Oh, shit.
However, Harry quickly reminds her.
I think the script's wrong.
Ah!
That's the first thing that could ever go wrong.
Yeah, you call that Ron because he's fallen. Ron! And then you go,
Ron Weasley.
Don't forget, we're still playing.
Harry moves into the appropriate space in front of the stone, White King chess piece, and proudly proclaims.
Checkmate.
Realizing its defeat, the Stone King releases his sword and it hits the ground with a clatter and a bang. Harry immediately races to Ron. Hermione is already there with their unconscious friend.
Take care of Ron, then go to the owlery. Send a message to Dumbledore. Ron's right. I have to go on.
You'll be okay, Harry. You're a great wizard. You really are.
You.
Me? Cleverness. There are more important things. Friendship and bravery. And Harry, just be careful.
And after we've all simultaneously vomited, Harry strides off into the next room to face the familiar presence behind all this and the dark force behind him. The end.
all right, let's jump around, applause for our volunteers. All right, ladies, thank you so much. You can keep your scripts as a bit of a memento. And we have a couple of prizes there. Take the one you like. Harry, which would you like to take? We have got Hermione. Yes, take yours, Ron. Yes, and you have Ron or Snape. Ah! Round of applause for our volunteers. Thank you. Oh. And that brings us to the end of our show, ladies and gentlemen. Have you had a good time? Oh.
I think that's time's enough for that one. That should have come in earlier, but that is okay.
I like the reassuring sound of Thomas the Tank Engine at the end of our Harry Potter
To
show.
get to the end, that is very true.
Now, what happens now, Mr.
Well, I think it's now time to close the show. We're now talking about, of course, we've got our next show coming
Oh,
up
yes.
soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're very excited to introduce our next show, which we are doing Innes Lloyd, the Trial of 1987 on the 24th of February next year here at the Butterfly Club. Now, why are we doing it on the 24th of February 2017?
Oh, good.
So the purpose of this is that we need to put the year on trial to see whether or not 1987 needs to be erased from history or not. And of course, they needed to choose someone who was born on February the 24th, 1987, to be the defendant. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is me.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing this show on the exact birthday, the 30th birthday of Mr. David Innes, February 24th next year. So,
Not at all self-indulgent, I assure you.
if you've seen our shows, it's just business as usual.
Do we have to bring presents?
Yes!
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming along. Buy your tickets at the Butterfly Club website. They're on sale right now. We have got so many people to thank for this show. We'd love to thank the people here at the Butterfly Club. Round of applause. We'd like to thank the person who did all our art, Tom Denham. Round of applause. Our fabulous operators for this evening, Caitlin and Jack up the back there. Yeah. Thank you very much. They just had a spasm. I'd like to thank my comedy crime cohort himself, Mr. David Innes.
And ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for the wonderful Mr. Rob Lloyd!
Thank you so much for coming. We've been Innes Lloyd. You've been fantastic. Good night.